All right, so everyone, my name is Laurie Delcrodecki, and I am going to talk to you about some tips for following up with prospects. So in network marketing, when you're working the business, you have to follow up with your people. That is huge. They say fortune is in the follow-up, and I'm going to post a little card that I made many years ago about that topic. But the more you follow up with people, the more you're going to get the results. Because even if somebody is interested and they want to, a lot of times, we're all busy, right? Like, how many websites have you went to and you hit bookmark on them because you literally want to go back to that website and then you never went back to it, right? But you wanted to, but you just got busy. So that's the same thing with your prospects a lot of times. So if they have not told you a flat out no, and even if they did, then it could be but maybe later if you don't burn that bridge. But if they didn't tell you no, then that just means that they just weren't ready to sign up right then. So you have to follow up with them. So just a couple tips on that. So one, be prompt and be consistent. Follow up with your prospects always within 24 hours of them asking you a question or meeting with them. And don't ever let too much time lapse. Otherwise, they might forget about you, right? And be consistent with your follow-ups. Don't just reach out one time and then disappear. So the same thing, a lot of times they say that it takes 7 to 10 touches to get somebody to sign up or to buy something or whatever. So you want to follow up with them and consistently. One thing I do is I keep a list of everyone that asks me questions about the company, about the products, about the comp plan, about anything. And I keep that list until they sign up. They don't come off that list. And I keep a list of, I have a FB if they talk to me on Facebook, text if they texted me, email if they emailed me, TT for TikTok, LI for LinkedIn, IG for Instagram. So I can keep track of exactly where they asked me the question from. And so that way I can go back and follow up with them. One huge thing is to find a testimonial and send that to them and say, hey, I just read this testimonial and I remembered our conversation and I wanted to send you this. Or if one of the doctors speak or Jay speaks or something, you might send that YouTube, and that's just an easy way to follow back up with them and then say, hey, how you doing? I just wanted to check in, see if you are ready to sign up as a customer or distributor. You're just simply following up because a lot of times people just get busy. And then always make sure you personalize your messages. So avoid using generic templates or doing a mass email or a mass text. Take the time to personalize your message to each prospect. Mention something specific about their interests or their needs or whatever you talked about last. This shows that you're genuinely interested in them and you're not simply just trying to make that sale. And then also provide value. Always provide value. Don't just bombard people with sales pitches, right? Because even though everything in the world is selling, I try to sell my grandson to eat his green beans, right? So everything in the world is selling, but nobody likes to be bombarded with those sales pitches. So offer people something valuable, especially with our stuff, with the patches, offer them free information, the resources, the clinical trials, or guide them to the samples. That helps you build your rapport with them. You can, if they're local, you can do the sample with the Liberty patch. And if they're not local, you could encourage them to order the sample pack or just tell them to order the 28 pack because it's money back guaranteed anyway. But also ask people questions so you hear from them. Don't just talk at them, right? Nobody likes to be talked at. Right? They want to feel like they're part of the conversation. The same thing, they want to feel like you care. So ask them questions Ask them questions about their challenges and their health. Ask them questions about their needs. Ask them questions about their goals in life if you are going towards the financial aspect of signing up in the business. But it's going to help you to understand them better and help you to tailor your follow-ups as you follow up with them if they don't sign up right away. And then always make sure you listen actively, like pay attention to what they're saying, verbally and non-verbally. Like body language is huge. That's why I love Zooms. So I love to do Zooms even with people, with my prospects that I'm talking to, rather than on the phone, because I see their eyes. I see if they're paying attention to me. I see their body language. I see how it's talking to me, right? If you're, when you're on conference calls, the Zooms, you can tell if people pay attention. You want to know that they're paying attention, that they're listening, that they're involved in what you're saying, but also even more so that they know that you are paying attention to them, that you're listening to what they're saying when they're talking to you. So that, like they used to say, the eyes are the windows to the soul, right? So it's huge for people to be able to see your eyes and to understand that you genuinely care. Yes, you make money in this business, but you genuinely care about helping them also. And then also be patient with people. So it takes time to build relationships and trust with prospects, right? So don't get discouraged if they don't say yes right away. Keep following up, keep providing value. Eventually they'll come around. And like I said before, even if they say no, it's not, as long as you don't burn that bridge, it's not always no, period. It's no, not yet, right? They're not in that place. And so, but always be friendly, always find things. And like I said, if they ask you things, like I was talking about, I keep my list and I go back and I date when I follow up with people, and I follow up with them at least once a week. And so you don't want to wait a month, right? If they asked you a bunch of questions, you answered them, and then they did nothing, and then it's crickets for a month. You don't want that. So follow up at least once a week. You can follow up with just saying, hey, just checking in on you to see, I know you asked me some questions. Do you have any other questions that I can help you with? Or, would you like to try it as a customer? It's money back guaranteed. You either get your life back or you get your money back. Follow up with them. Find another testimonial that has to do with whatever their issue was, and copy and paste and send that to them. And use a variety of communication channels. So don't just rely on emails, or don't just rely on phone, or just text, or just social medias. Keep in touch with them in different ways. Like a lot of times you want to keep in touch with the same platform that they contacted you on, just because obviously that might be what they like to use. But you could still follow up other ways too. So you could still text them here and there, or you could still send them an email or a Facebook message, but sometimes things get lost. Like I know I've had to learn different ways on even texting, but also emails and Facebook. I get so many messages because my team is big and I have a lot of followers, that I get so many messages all the time that if somebody sends me a message, then like I had a friend that texted me 2 weeks ago, and she texted me again tonight, and I literally saw the message from 2 weeks ago, because it got lost in my messages and I didn't scroll down and end up noticing it. And so, or somebody might click on it, they glanced at your message, so then it goes unread, but then they're busy right then, so they don't really read it. They go on to something else. And then the same thing, then 50 more messages come in, and so they lost it. So always follow up. And the same thing, follow up after any presentations or events. If you give presentations, or if you attend events with presentations with your prospects, make sure to follow up with the people that you meet there. It's a great way to solidify your connections with them. Same thing, if you're going to networking meetings, follow up with people. Don't just go to the networking meeting and meet them for 30 seconds in your 30-second or 60-second spiel and expect that they're going to sign up with you. You need to meet with them one-on-one. You don't have to meet in person all the time. I always think that's best personally, but you can meet with them on Zoom like this. You can even meet with them on the phone. I met with a guy on the phone earlier today. So, there's all different kinds of ways you can do it. And then use some sort of contact relationship management system. So that's an email system. So it helps you to keep track of your contacts, your interactions, your follow-ups. It's going to make it easier to stay organized and efficient. There's all different kinds of ones out there, so you can Google whichever one you want to use. But it's an easy way, especially as your team grows or as your prospect list grows, to keep following up with people. So you can use an email system, like MailChimp, I think allows you 1,000 or 2,000, up to 2,000 free. So, but there's a lot out there that you pay for, but they're very little too, but it's a way to send emails to follow up with people. I like those, but the same thing, you can just do like what I was talking about earlier too, of just having a spreadsheet of their names, when you talked to them last, and how you talked to them, how you contacted them, or whatever, what platform they were on, but keeping track of that. And then they don't move till your customer page or your rep page. They stay on that prospect page until they sign up. So then you still keep them in front of you and check it every week. And don't be afraid to ask for referrals. If you have a positive relationship with someone, then don't be afraid to ask for referrals. They might not sign up with you, but they might know somebody that needs a health thing or is in pain and needs help with that or whatever. So always ask for referrals. So those are just a real quick, short tips. And thanks so much for tuning in. And so every Monday night, I do about 15 minutes of free training. So make sure you're on for this, but also make sure you get on if you're on my team beforehand, because we have open question and answer time. Thanks so much, everyone. Have a great night.
Bye.